There's the term MCU. And then there's Mary Sue's. Gender bending and wokeness, demanded by the 10% of people that feel representation is more important than anything, than story, than acting ability, and more important than even making money. And it goes even beyond needing representation. It's now to the point of needing men to look weak and dumb to make women look strong and smart. I have 3 sons. What am I to do with this? Should I raise them to hate themselves and force them to enjoy movies like the Marvels, even if they don't? Should I force them to watch Ahsoka and demand that they support this stuff by dyeing their hair and buying all the merchandise you can find in the discount bins? As a father, I'm sick of it. Not sick of female actresses, but lies said about me about being sexist. Sick of needing to pander and lying to myself about what's actually good. Captain Marvel as an MCU character is terrible. A rather static character, no depth, no relatability. For most of the time, we've gotten to know her as a character. She's had no flaws, no strengths, better and smarter than anyone, and no needed development, no growth because she's already arrived. The only thing holding her back? Men. There was no hero's journey, just destination. Overcoming memory loss, like in the first film, isn't a journey. Then there's Rey in Star Wars, a better female Luke. For all intents and purposes, without the need to learn from anyone or needing help. She saved herself and showed everyone how she's better than everyone. It was like she was trying to discover herself and everyone else was also holding her back. Finn, Luke, Han. Well, men were holding her back. Both characters poorly written. Mary Sue's. Perfect, flawless, depthless and lifeless. Boring, predictable, and unrelatable. Now, this has nothing to do with them as people in the real world. Nothing. I don't know Daisy Ridley. I don't know Brie Larson. If anything, I feel bad for all the heat that they keep getting. And in my opinion, being thrown under the ideological bus by writers, directors, producers that don't care because they're not in the spotlight. They're the ones that keep pushing ideas that my boys are the issue. This is what I take personal. My sons, for them being themselves, being boys, filled with aggressiveness and testosterone. I tell them never to apologize for who they are, but if I ever find out you're treating women poorly, and it shouldn't be this way, it wasn't in the past. I've shown my boys tons of movies, and many of them with strong female leads. Women that are believable, strong and intelligent, and heaven forbid, beautiful. Prime example, Ellen Ripley in Aliens. We watch this often because of all the Halo references. We love the fighting, the characters, and how Ripley pulls off the win in the end. She's incredible. The character starts afraid, depressed from losing her daughter, and not wanting to go back into deep space. Yet she knows she couldn't live with herself if others got killed because of her inaction. She was empathetic, compassionate, a hard worker, and yet afraid. She struggled to overcome her fears. You saw that throughout the whole film. But her fears were overcome by her sense of duty and her love of people. What a role model. Me and my boys didn't need to be the same sex or ethnicity to see ourselves in her or in her struggles. I totally get her mistrust of companies and her fierceness to call out the BS when needed. Who couldn't relate to her? And that's why she worked. She was a survivor, a woman that didn't overpower her adversaries. She worked with other people to learn from them. She needed their help to overcome, and then overcoming off the backs of those that paid the ultimate price so she could succeed. Dang, I felt nothing like this with Captain Marvel. Captain Carter either in Marvel's What If, or in Rey. A female character just well written. Yet Disney has done this before. That's the part that I don't get. The animated movie Mulan was tremendous. Me and my boys just watched that again this holiday. Mulan started off as just a girl wanting to please her family by simply being married off, but found herself in a situation where all she wanted to do was to save her father. It was the cascade of events on which she had no control over, and the events that she failed in as well, and eventually brought her face to face with destiny. Her strength wasn't her just being her, which is a lie often portrayed in film these days, but it was in her tenacity to work hard, to train, to get better. She had physical limitations in the film. She was also naive and idealistic, Yet the film, like in the real world, it was beaten out of her, like the rest of us. No, she wasn't the strongest or fastest. She wasn't going higher, further, faster than all the other men. I don't get this ad for Captain Marvel. Slap a mustache and give her a buzz cut and you got a dude. Why do they want girls to be dudes? I don't get it. And why do women want to fight all the time in these things? I get it with boys. That's what boys do. My sons do. If I had daughters, would they be wrestling, punching, karate kicking each other all the time? If you have daughters like that, let me know in the comments below. And if you like what I'm saying so far, hit that like button and sub. I got more to say, but back to Mulan. What I like about the character of Mulan was that though she wasn't stronger or faster, she used what she had. She had a lucky cricket and a dragon. She had grit and gumption and took every advantage she had to bear. So when it came to a scene like this, where she used a fan to disarm Shin Yu, it wasn't so bad because at this point she earned it, even though it was a bit goofy. This was a Disney movie with a female lead, and me and my boys loved it. We love this movie. Why? Because Mulan is just a well-written character, believable and relatable, unlike Rey. Wait, you're telling me you know more about the Millennium Falcon than Han? You know the Force better than Luke? You know how to fight better than Kylo Ren, who's been training to fight with the best in the universe for decades, while you were abandoned in a desert? Well, who needs training, I guess? You want to know who? The Bride. The Bride, played by Uma Thurman in Kill Bill. She needed training. She was a character that beat all her enemies too. She didn't do it with ease though, unlike Rey. She had to dig deep, deep within her to win her battles, showing her depth as a character. And nothing speaks more to the depth of a character than the ability to rise from the grave by sheer determination and the desire to seek retribution for the ones you loved. And she did that, literally in the film. Sure, she was a quick learner, but she also didn't have powers and innate abilities to know everything. She was a hard worker, busting her butt, training and learning. And she had her weaknesses too. She was stubborn and arrogant, which led to most of her losses. She was shot, slashed, punched, kicked, lost. That's what makes her relatable. She wasn't the strongest or untouchable, but just a girl that wanted justice for all that she lost. You understood her pain, and you could totally relate to her wanting revenge. And just like Ripley in Mulan, you felt for her, in her loss, in her pain. You wanted justice for her and all the things that were done to her. That's why she worked. It didn't come easily. She had to fight tooth and nail, even to take the L's, but she couldn't give up. She needed to avenge all those she lost, her fiance, her friends, her daughter. And this is the point of it all. People aren't being sexist with movies that come out these days. They're just tired of poorly written characters, both male and female, and the need to elevate women by pushing men down, by pushing my sons down. These women are relatable in their struggles and in their victories. We love them because of their flaws. Their hero's journey of both victories and defeats make us love them more than just characters. This is the kind of stuff that makes us go back to the theaters to see them over and over again. Wake up, Disney. We like women, just not your better than men women.